2023 is a big year of positive change at Alton Towers Resort. Nemesis, a long staple attraction at the theme park, is closed this year for a retracking project. Jewel has become the curse of Alton Manor, making a formerly not so popular ride now one of the most popular rides. Has all this change turned the tried and tested ways of maximising your visit to Alton Towers upside down? I'm visiting during the Easter school holidays to find out. Hey, this is Stu for Out and Back Travel. Here on this channel we make videos like this one, and we also have a podcast for planning trips to theme park attractions all around the world. So if you like what we do, please drop the video a like and subscribe to really help the channel out. I'm recording this video Easter 2023 during the school break to test if the methods of getting on the most rides, avoiding the biggest queues and having the absolute best day at Alton Towers theme park still apply in 2023. As things have changed a lot this year, Nemesis will be closed for the season whilst the resort work on a large retracking project, so it keeps it running for the next 30 years and beyond. Curse at Alton Manor is the new attraction, which is an incredible refresh of the former Jewel, giving it a creepy new story. And Nemesis Subtower will be reopening in late May. So come with me on a day during the Easter school holidays to see how many rides I can get on, kind of navigate my way around the theme park, avoiding the longest queues. We'll see how I do, and at the end of the video we'll go over some tips to help you have the best possible day if you're thinking of visiting Alton Towers in 2023. My visit is on a Monday. Even in the school holiday periods, visiting on a weekday over a weekend day should make it a little quieter. But tip number one is think of how you're getting into the park. We stayed over at one of the Alton Towers hotels, which means we can enter through the Galactica gate. So this is a special entrance for hotel guests, which will pop us in right next to one of the most popular roller coasters, so that when the park opens, we can get straight on that ride and avoid queuing for it later in the day. Now, non-hotel guests have to enter the park through the main park entrance, which means you have to either take the monorail, which does get long queues in the morning. As we walk past, the staff were announcing the queue was currently 35 minutes. Or if you don't want to queue for the monorail, you can take the walking path, which is a good 15 to 20 minute walk as you're walking from the car parks, which are at the back of the park behind the Galactica ride, all the way down to the front of the park at Tower Street. So it is quite a lengthy walk. A good tip is to make sure you arrive nice and early for your day. The monorail will typically start running an hour before the park opens. You want to be ready to get inside the park the second it opens for the day, so you can start maximising your available time. So at this point we've ridden Galactica. In normal times we can now knock out Nemesis, as we'd be right next to it, but it's currently having a little siesta. Subterra wasn't open when I recorded this video, but now it's reopening as a video release. You can now get one of the new attractions ticked off pretty quickly as well, as it's in this area of the park. As we have started at the back of the park, we're coming towards the crowds that will be coming in from the main entrance, which means we can hop on one of the brand new attractions, the Curse at Alton Manor, which is an amazing reimagining of the haunted house, formerly Jewel, now with much more spooks. No spoilers here, friends, but you do need to ride this a couple of times as there's a lot of detail to take in. Continuing around the park into Katanga Canyon. Now the rapids won't typically open until a little later in the day, usually around 11, but do check the official site for the time it's going to open. But we can certainly hop on the runaway train before the queue gets here. Choo choo. So that's the first hour done, and we've managed to get on 2 of the roller coasters and the brand new ride. Not bad going. Wicker is the next ride we will come to. However, 1, it's close to the main entrance. 2, has a lower height restriction at 1.2 meters than some of the other signature roller coasters, which are 1.4. And 3, it's really good, so it pretty much has a long queue throughout the day. So we're going to come back to that later and head over to X-Sector. Oblivion is advertising a 50-minute wait, but if we take a little peek up the fast track entrance here, we can see the regular queue hasn't made it down to this little bunker, which is the halfway point of the queue line. So if the queue's to there, it's probably at least an hour. As we can see, we can kind of see it at the top there, So we're going to go for it, and it turned out to be a 10-minute wait for Oblivion, which is a capacity monster. So the queue should move up in nice big chunks as it sends 32 riders out at once when it dispatches those shuttles. Smiler is a 50-minute wait. If it's less than an hour, I would recommend going for it. It is one of the most popular roller coasters at Alton Towers and holds a record for most upside down inversions of any roller coaster in the world. The queue is particularly unpleasant as you're going to be waiting in a big metal cage under the ride. That's why I wouldn't recommend going over an hour, but under an hour it's not too bad, it's bearable. Alton Towers is of course the UK's most popular theme park, so you're going to have to expect some queues. Of course, I'm not using the fast track service, which is Alton Towers' version of the paid skip the line service. It is possible to get around the park, even in the squalor days as improving, without using or paying extra for the fast track. It's all about managing those expectations. Of course, at some point you will have to take on a lengthy queue, so let's check out the wait times on the Alton Towers app, which is also a great tip. Make sure you download the official Alton Towers app, as not only does it have your park map, it does tell you the queue times, so let's check them out. Oblivion has updated to 10 minutes, which is what we just waited. Smiler is 50 minutes, Wicker Man is 55, Rita and 13 an hour, and Galactica is closed. And as of our visit in April 2023, Spinball Wizard hasn't yet opened for the season. If you are trying to get on Spinball, general tip, as it's at the front of the park, it will get big queues first thing in the morning and late at night as everyone starts to leave the park through the main entrance. So that's one to kind of hit around the middle of the day to get the lowest waits. We're about to go into the inside queue for Smiler, and so far we've waited 30 minutes. And it ended up being a 40-minute wait, which is not bad at all for Smiler. After a little refreshment pit stop, let's see how those queue times are doing. So Rita has now come down to 45 minutes, Oblivion is back up to 50, I guess everybody saw it was a low queue. Smiler is still at 50, 13 and Wicker Man are an hour, and Galactica is still down, so I'm glad we did that this morning. Just have a little switch over to the family rides. We can see Battle Galleons, Runaway Train and Blade all have no queue. Rapids is 15, Curse of Alton Manor is 15 and Gangster Granny is an hour. So there are some nice low weights available there. As we had a little refreshment, we're going to delay lunch and knock out a big queue. So let's get in the line for Wicker Man, which is advertised at an hour. So Wicker Man is the complete opposite to Smiler. It has a lovely big open air queue that goes around the ride. So it's quite a bit more enjoyable to be in. And as long as they're running 2 to 3 trains on Wicker Man, the queue will keep moving. This one is another capacity monster, so you should be shuffling up quite frequently. Now this one took a little longer. As you can see, we're just about to go up the stairs to the backdrop and we're already at 1 hour and 5 minutes. So all in all, it took around 1 hour and 10 minutes to get onto the ride. Worth it though, because Wicker Man is an incredible wooden coaster and still one of my favourite rides at Alton Towers. Let's have a queue update. As we get towards the late afternoon, the queues will now start to calm down for the day. Galactica has reopened and it's currently at 10 minutes, so that's why it's good to have the app. If you keep an eye on the rides that have been down when they do reopen, you can get a nice low wait. That's a brilliant wait for Galactica. Oblivion is at 20 minutes, Smiler is at 40, Rita's come down to 50 minutes, Wicker Man's now down at 50 and 13 is an hour. So if we're looking to complete the park, I'd probably head to the Dark Forest and get on Rita and then 13. But as I have an annual pass, I do have the luxury of a little flexibility and I don't have to do those rides today, and I can save them for another day when the queues are shorter. I'm going to get some more rides in on the new ride, the Curse of Alton Manor, which has a 10-minute wait. This is another good tip. There are some shortcuts around the park to save your feet, as you're going to have to do a lot of walking. If you're looking to get to the Curse or Forbidden Valley, if you hang a right here, it will save you walking around the rapids and the Runaway Train area. So for the rest of the afternoon, I'm going to live out my best spooky life, lapping the Curse of Alton Manor and consuming lots of spooky themed ice cream treats. The mint soft serve is particularly epic. But let's go over a few tips to maximise your day if you're thinking of coming to Alton Towers in the school holidays or any time in 2023. You need to expect some queues. Alton Towers is always popular. It's just the nature of the beast. Even in the school holidays, as today's proven, it's still manageable to get around the park and get on most of the rides with a little planning. Even in the school holidays, as I've proven today, it's still manageable to get around the park and get on quite a lot of rides without having to wait in too many long queues. Make sure you download that official app. It shows you the queue times, which can help you to decide which section of the park to go to next. You can also find out if rides have reopened, and it's also your park map, which is great for getting around. Maximise your available time. Make sure you're ready to go the second the park opens and stay until closing. As long as you're inside the queue at closing time, you get to go on the ride no matter how long the queue is. They don't close the lines early at the Merlin parks, which is a lovely thing they do. The next tip is to consider a Merlin annual pass. If you're visiting 3 or more times, it really can be a big saving. It's going to give you a lot of flexibility to come back more often. Like today, I'm not bothering with Rita or 13, but that's okay, I'll get on them next time. It covers all the Merlin attractions in the UK, so not just Alton Towers, you'll also have access to Legoland, Fort Park, Chessington World of Adventures, as well as their midway attractions like Merlin Two Swords and Sea Life Centres. You also get free parking at Alton Towers, which saves you £7 per visit, and a 20% discount on food and merchandise, which makes things inside the park a lot more affordable. I used my annual pass to book a hotel stay at a fantastic rate, but that meant we could also come through the sneaky hotel shortcut, the Galactica hotel entrance in the morning. So that means you can get straight onto Galactica or in normal times Nemesis, which does save you some time in the morning of having to walk right to the back of the park to get on the roller coasters before the queues get there, which can really help to get you a head start on the day. I hope these tips were helpful. Alton Towers is an amazing special place. To get the most out of your visit, I do recommend doing a little research so you're prepared. Manage those expectations. You need to expect a little queue at some point, and I hope you have an amazing day as the rides are incredible. What are your tips for having the best day at Alton Towers? Let me know in those comments below, and remember, until next time, stay safe on the way out and back.